Okay, your cake is ready and now you want to fill it and cover with your delicious buttercream. But every time you tried in the past, there's always something that is not quite right as you want to be. Maybe the buttercream all around is not smooth enough, or maybe your cake is not straight, or even the edges are not quite right. So in this video, I'm going to cover all the mistakes that I see making around, that I used to make as well, and how to avoid them and even how to fix them, so that your cake is going to look like it has come out from a professional bakery. But now, let's start from the basics. Instead of baking 3 or 4 cakes to get to a tall cake, what I actually prefer to do is to bake 1 cake on a tall tin. And what I actually do is instead of baking the cake of the width of my tin, I actually use the next one or even the next one. And I like this way a little bit more for 2 main reasons. The first thing is that when cutting the top of the cake, I'm just wasting 1 cake instead of 3 cakes. And then the second reason is that I only need to buy 1 tin instead of 3, which can save me money, but also a little bit of oven paper too. And the trick here to get it all baked nicely on the inside is to wrap a damp towel all around the tin. And then keep your cake in the oven for 10-20 minutes longer. However, always make sure to do the wooden stick test to make sure that your cake is well cooked on the inside as well. If you're the type of person that you're not making many cakes, then you don't need to buy anything special. A knife will do. But if you do make lots of cake, I suggest you buy one of these. And what I do before cutting the cake is I always measure the height of the cake and then I divide it by 3 or 4. It depends on how many layers I want my cake to be. And the tip that I want to give you is that instead of cutting the cake from left to right, I noticed instead that if I cut just a little bit all around the cake first, afterwards cut a little bit further, and doing like this, it helps me to get less crumble and it cuts the cake much better. But what I like about this tool is that I can set the width of the cake just once and then I can forget about it because they're all going to be the same. If you put your cake straight on your cake board, your cake will slip. Instead, what you want to do is to add a dab of buttercream in the center of your cake board. And as you can see, your cake will stay still. Make sure that your buttercream is not too soft or too hard. If it is too hard, what you need to do is just to add just 1 spoon of milk or water and then whisk it. Instead, if it is too soft, just add some icing sugar. To fill the cake, I used to use piping bags. But to be honest, I realized that I was wasting lots of plastic bags and plus a little bit of more time as well. But what I actually discovered that it is easier and quicker to do is to use as measurement some scoop of buttercream using the ice cream scoop, so that you know that on each layer you're going to add the same amount of buttercream. And then what you want to do is using your spatula while spinning the cake around. So much easier, so much quick. I've seen that some people cover the cake with buttercream straight away. Instead, if you freeze your cake before icing, the whole cake will prevent your cake to move around and look like the Pisa Tower. 7. Don't leave the cake as it is. Instead, trim off any bits that are kind of poking out, so that you're going to have less problems when you're covering the whole cake with buttercream. 8. Don't apply the buttercream onto the cake in any way, but you need to put your spatula horizontally and then apply the buttercream. 9. Don't put too much butter straight away, as the cake is gonna have lots of crumbs at the moment. 10. Don't put your spatula straight. When smoothing the sides of the cake, you need to put your smoother straight at 90 degrees. A mistake that I see sometimes that people make is that they don't clean their smoother each time. Get rid of extra buttercream on your cake. Again, clean your spatula and then use it again. This will make sure that your cake is nice and smooth. Mistake number 12 is that some people don't take enough care of the top edges. So you want the top of the edges nice and smooth and straight. 13. Not adding another layer buttercream. If you're going to cover your cake just with buttercream, make sure you add another layer of buttercream, at least one more time if you're good at it. But if you're not, you might need to do this a few times until your cake is nice and smooth enough. I really hope you find all the tips that I gave you really useful, but if you have more, please share them with us so that we can help each other. Just write them in the comment section. Also, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to press the button to help me grow this channel and to help me reach as more people as possible. But it's all for today, and in the meantime, you might want to watch another video really interesting about baking mistakes. However, don't forget to be creative and have fun. See you next time. Bye bye.